Over the past year, two national OSEP centers, the TIES Center and the Progress Center, align universal technical assistance efforts to promote a common message of belonging, moving beyond the traditional inclusion for students with disabilities. This session will share how our unique collaboration around a common message increased awareness and implementation of efforts to promote belonging for students with and without disabilities at the local level. Promoting a similar message across multiple state and federal initiatives can support the Secretary's priority to meet students' social, emotional, and academic needs. My name is Tessie Bailey, and I'm the director of the Progress Center. The Progress Center provides information, resources, tools, and technical assistance services to support local educators in developing and implementing high-quality educational programs that allow children with disabilities to make progress and meet challenging goals. To support local educators, we share guidance, tools, and resources based on existing research, state and federal law and policies, and local experiences. We partner with select local districts and schools to develop the knowledge and skills and infrastructure to promote belonging and progress for students with disabilities. The Progress Center is the result of the Andrew F. decision, which states that an IEP must be reasonably calculated to enable a child to make progress in light of a child's circumstances. Under IDEA, the Individualized Education Program, or IEP, serves as the foundation of promoting progress for students with disabilities. While the IEP is the foundation, any benefit from it depends on the extent to which it's implemented within a local ecosystem with the capacity to develop and implement high-quality educational programming. That programming requires supportive learning environments. In other words, students not only need good instruction, they need to feel like they belong. The TIES and Progress Center defined and created aligned but audience-specific resources to promote belonging. TIES began the work to support students with significant disabilities but struggled to engage required partners in general education. To support school-wide efforts, the Progress Center took a parallel approach to engage general education and leadership. In this session, a local educator serving as an educator in residence for the Progress Center will share how this approach improved collaboration and increased belonging of all students, including students with the most significant cognitive disabilities.
What is belonging? I'm Kristin Liu, the director of the National Technical Assistance Center on Inclusive Practices and Policies, or the TIES Center. TIES works with states, districts, and schools to support the movement of students with significant cognitive disabilities in K-8 from less inclusive to more inclusive environments. To achieve its goals, the center focuses on four main topics: systems change, peer relationships, which includes belonging, communication support, and inclusive instruction. I'm here today to talk about the importance of peer relationships and belonging. Dr. Brené Brown said, "A deep sense of love and belonging is an irreducible need of all people." In a classroom, having a feeling of belonging provides students an important foundation for learning. This image shows small groups of students sitting on a rug chatting. They look engaged, relaxed, and comfortable with each other. In short, they look as if they experience belonging. The teacher uses peer conversation as a way to connect students' personal experiences with the topic of a text they will read. Building background knowledge increases students' reading comprehension. Peer conversation helps to elicit those experiences. In the process of sharing, students may also develop new relationships and even friendships. Noticeably, in this image, you cannot identify students with significant cognitive disabilities engaging in these small group discussions. They don't appear to be there. Often these students are taught separately. In short, they don't belong to the school and classroom community if they are not included. Schools should be places of belonging for every student, yet it is sometimes difficult to define just what components need to be present in a classroom or school for students to experience belonging. In 2021, Drs. Eric Carter and Elizabeth Biggs conducted a literature review to identify 10 essential dimensions of belonging. Each of those dimensions are shown here as segments of a wheel. Students belong when they are present, invited, welcomed, known, accepted, involved, supported, heard, befriended, and needed. I'll say a little more about each of these dimensions in just a minute. Here's a quick overview of each of the 10 dimensions using brief quotes from the mini guides. For more information, please check out the full resource on our website. Dimension 1, present. This means to be involved every day in the same places as everyone else in your school. No matter the activity, students with significant cognitive disabilities take part in it. Dimension 2, invited, means to have your presence or participation sought out by another person. This might involve being invited to sit with peers at lunch, join in games at recess, collaborate on a project, join a club, or come to a birthday party. Dimension 3, welcomed. To be received by others with warmth, friendliness, and an authentic delight. Students tend to feel welcomed when others greet them, start a conversation, ask about their day, and join them in shared activities. Dimension 4, known, means to be seen as a unique individual and appreciated for all of who you are. Having relationships with people who understand and affirm you is an important aspect of belonging. Dimension 5, accepted. To be accepted is to be embraced gladly without condition and viewed as an equal. Knowing you are liked by others contributes to feelings of self-worth, gives you roots, and makes school more enjoyable. Dimension 6, involved, means to be actively engaged with and alongside peers in shared learning and common goals. This could look like students participating in cooperative learning with classmates, working toward collective learning goals, and navigating challenges together as peers. Dimension 7, supported. Having the individualized resources needed to reach your full potential and thrive in everyday life. Students are most likely to feel supported when they are known personally, where people see their full potential, and where they are provided the assistance needed to be successful, such as adapted materials, technology, and changes to the physical environment. Dimension 8, heard. Your perspective is sought, listened to, and respected. Students should have a way to communicate so that they are heard. They can share ideas, express preferences, contribute to meaningful conversations in class, and help make important decisions. Dimension 9, befriended. Having peer relationships marked by mutual affection and reciprocity. Every student needs relationships with peers that provide companionship and fun. Creating environments for friendships to bloom may be the greatest way to strengthen belonging. Finally, Dimension 10, needed. To be needed involves being valued by others and considered an indispensable member of the community. When students are known personally and seen for their strengths, schools are better able to create conditions for meaningful contributions.
So, why promote belonging? COVID impacts confirm that students learn best and are most successful when they feel welcomed and they feel a sense of belonging at school. Unfortunately, at the same time, many educators are struggling to meaningfully include students with disabilities in the school community. Let's hear how one local educator, serving as an educator in residence for the Progress Center, is promoting belonging in her school.
Hello, my name is Kevallyn Drake, and I'm a special education teacher at a Title I middle school in Meridian, Idaho. I'm also serving as an educator in residence for the Progress Center. The Progress Center and TIES Center have been working together over the past year to promote the importance of belonging for students with disabilities in local classrooms. While the data and resources are necessary for both centers and their professional development providers, it's even more crucial that local educators are included in the development of these practices. Educators have the power to ensure that all students with disabilities are included in the general education classroom and can participate at every level, although this can be challenging at times. This is why the TIES and the Progress Center emphasize the importance of including local educators in the conversation to have a better understanding of how to include these specific students. By promoting a common idea of belonging for students with disabilities, including those with significant needs, educators can become more aware of the way they address their classrooms each day. Educators are the ones who work directly with students and can have the largest impact on their education and overall emotional well-being in the classroom. Professional development is important and can inform educators of how to best instruct, but it's up to educators to use strategies which foster a positive environment for those with disabilities. Inclusivity goes beyond inclusive instruction strategies and moves into the way we speak to students by including them in the conversation. A sense of belonging can be done in many ways, such as allowing students to be heard, feel needed, and accepted by those around them, educators and their peers included. The center asks educators to reflect on their experiences in the classroom to determine if they provide a welcoming and inclusive environment. By asking questions such as, are students embraced without condition and viewed as equal by their peers? Or are the perspectives of students sought out, listened to, and respected by others? Encourages educators to think about their place in the classroom. Educators are the first to make a student feel welcomed when they walk through the classroom door. By including educators in the conversation and asking these difficult questions, we can begin to focus on including students with disabilities in the classroom and opening the door for all to feel welcomed and wanted.
Here's an example of how one student experienced a deep sense of belonging at school. The cover of the 2018-19 Impact magazine, shown here, highlighted a photo of Thomas Brine. Thomas was a teenager with a significant cognitive disability who was fully included in his school starting in kindergarten. His mentor, a football player, is shown standing next to him with his arm around Thomas. Thomas's mother wrote eloquently about her son's inclusive school experience and captured his sense of belonging. She wrote, Thomas's modified curriculum did not stop him from being fully included in class. Reading novels, giving oral presentations, participating in group projects, and participating in science lab and computer lab. With a little planning and creativity, Thomas went to camp on Catalina Island and in the Santa Barbara Mountains with his classmates. He was on the football and basketball teams and made strong lifelong friendships. Thomas was fully accepted as a student, just as he was.
The Progress Center views belonging as an essential element of a local, sustainable ecosystem where students with disabilities have access to and benefit from high-quality educational programming. The Progress Center uses this illustration to model how the IEP serves as the vehicle, like the spike in the image, for promoting progress, but that it requires an environment or an ecosystem that provides the path towards progress. Promoting an environment of belonging is as important as effective instruction, family engagement, educator support, and ongoing data and teaming to ensure student success.
The TIES Center and the Progress Center are promoting a joint message about the importance of belonging for all students, especially students with disabilities. We believe cross-center collaboration is vital, particularly on such a critical topic. Each TA center emphasizes improving academic, social, or behavioral outcomes for students with disabilities. Belonging is a key component to improved outcomes. But we don't want to improve outcomes for just one student. We want to improve outcomes for every student with a disability. That type of systems-level change requires collaboration and coordination across all of the stakeholders involved, including the TA providers. Belonging is a common thread to our work that helps us coordinate the TA we deliver, sometimes in the same state, district, or school. Coordination amplifies the message and helps leverage OSEP resources to have greater impact.
Both centers have developed several resources to support local educators in promoting belonging.
Based on the literature review, Carter and Biggs created this resource for the TIES Center. It's called Creating Communities of Belonging for Students with Significant Cognitive Disabilities, and it is available on our website at tiescenter.org. The resource directly addresses the creation of school communities where every student, including students with significant cognitive disabilities, is included in all aspects of everyday life. The resource has a mini guide for each of the 10 dimensions. Each mini guide does 3 things. First, it defines the dimension. Second, it provides a snapshot of what that dimension could look like in an inclusive classroom. Third, it suggests steps schools can take to promote a change in that particular dimension of belonging. Along with the mini guides, there's an accompanying reflection tool. Schools can gather a diverse group of teachers, specialized instructional support personnel, administrators, students with and without disabilities, and their families. For each of the 10 dimensions of belonging, they can ask, what are we doing really well right now in this area? And what could we be doing better or differently in this area? The first question encourages celebration so the school can continue doing things that are working well. The second question invites action. Compile ideas people share about what could be going better and identify common themes. Finally, ask, what actionable steps should we be taking next to change how students experience belonging in our school? This last question leads to improvement. If you would like to read more about 9 specific interventions educators can use to promote peer relationships and belonging in schools, check out this additional resource, The Power of Peers, on the TIES website. It also provides a decision-making guide to determine the best approach for a given situation.
Under the Implementation tab on the Progress Center website, you can find links to several resources developed by the Center, including a webinar for promoting belonging for students with and without disabilities. This resource promotes the same language as the TIES Center, but is targeted for a different audience. In addition, the Progress Center offers a short video about the importance of promoting belonging from the perspective of an individual who benefited from special education. The Center's website also provides links to all of the belonging resources on the TIES website. Promoting belonging requires an aligned, coordinated effort at all levels of the system. The messaging from leadership at the federal, state, and local level must present it as a priority for meeting the social, emotional, and academic needs of students. No single center or initiative, as evidenced by our collaboration, has the ability to do this work independently. We hope that this session is just the first in an ongoing conversation about leveraging OSEP initiatives to promote belonging for students with disabilities. If you're interested in joining us in promoting belonging, please contact Tessie Bailey, Director of the Progress Center, at tbailey@air.org, or Kristin Liu, the PI of the TIES Center, at Kline, KLINE 010 at umn.edu.